in Hispanic culture, Jorge can go to Home Depot and work for 17, 18 hours outside the Home Depot, working a contractor job. Come home to Maria, and she treat him like a king.
Yep.
And he working at Home Depot. He's a contractor. In black culture, that's not happening. You not working, making 30, $40,000 a year and getting treated like a king, getting treated with submission. It's just not happening. My subscribers asked this question. Shout out to International Backyard. Do y'all believe that when men make a certain amount of money, let's say over $250,000, do you believe that they're more prone to date outside their race? Black men specifically.
Yes, I do think that. I think that the more successful that they are, they start to have access to all types of women they didn't have access to before. So I could see how that definitely is a thing.
Is it an access thing? Like, would it like what's your presumption for like why they would want to do that?
I don't want to say it's necessarily like a race thing. I want to say it's just having access to more women that you
Yeah,
didn't have
it's just
access
having
to
more
before. When you get
access.
money, more women gravitate towards you because
When you get more money, you go different places than you did when you were broke. So
you
wanna
experience different types of women.
different types of women, and
And if you haven't already, like, been there and tried that before, you're curious, you know?
like, if you grew up in the hood and now all of a sudden you live at the Ritz Carlton and all you see is white women and you never dated a white woman before, now that you're rich and you can speak her language, you probably gonna try to date that white woman.
But when you look at like NBA players and NFL players, and you see they have like white wives or like white girlfriends, like does that make you feel a certain type of way?
It does bother
It does,
me.
but you can't. It's white women in them them places. That's what those women are. Like those women tend to like, especially the ones with kids. They stay local. They stay home where their families at. You going into these establishment where these rich people probably live up the street. This probably their daddy room or something like that. Like you going different places where different people are. You're gonna want to date. You're gonna try to date. You're gonna naturally date outside your race. Like I don't think you go in it with intention that I'm gonna be an NBA player and I'm gonna get me a white wife. Like I don't think that's the goal. But yeah, if you're going to these places and you visiting these places and these sports arenas and these bars and these different establishments where these types of people are, you're gonna run into some people that I guess you like and want to be with.
So what the men are saying is that when they're on the come up and they're trying to date black women and the black women are putting them through hoops, you got to pay for my hair, my nails, my dress. If you want to take me on a date, you got to pay for my Uber. You got to do all this stuff. When they're on the come up, they're not getting the attention from black women. And then when they finally make it, they kind of like, all right, well, I'm going to just go a different direction. That's kind of what the men are saying is that I tried to do it when I was on the come up and they wasn't giving me the time of day for who I was. They didn't see the vision. So now that I'm up, okay, I'm going to go a different direction.
That sucks for them because those white women wouldn't have paid attention to them if they weren't rich
Weren't up.
either. So
That's true.
So yeah,
I
you can't get mad that somebody left you when you were there with them doing whatever. Yeah, I got on your nerves, or yeah, you think it ain't work out, but now we've been in this relationship for 8 years. You're gonna break up with me, and now you dating this white girl, and you're gonna do everything I literally asked you for. Like,
I feel
that's just
like
slap in
there's
the
nothing
face.
wrong with obviously them dating white girls. I just can't believe you would be more. You would like. I just think black women and cultured women and foreign women are just so beautiful, and way more beautiful. I don't know if it's fucked up to say that, but like I don't know how you could choose to be with a white person instead, a white woman instead. If that's what you like, that's what you like. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I just, for my own personal like preference, like I just can't agree with you. So that's why it bothers me. But is there necessarily something completely wrong with it? Just let people love who they love. It's like asking if there's, wrong.
Well,
I
me-
just think that sometimes psychologically those men don't like their mother.
For men that genuinely say that, like, oh, the men that are genuinely saying like, oh, black women are loud, they talk back, and
They
white
don't like
women
their
don't.
mother.
Is that?
and
Can
like,
we dig into that real quick? Like,
I
what do
don't
you mean?
necessarily agree with that because the men that think that don't realize that, okay, she might yell at you, but she not calling the cops on you when you fucking scare her, like, raise your voice, put maybe put your hands on her. I don't know. In those type of situations, white girls be making up. Like, I literally have a friend that's a football player that got his whole career ruined because he choked out his white girlfriend, and she went to the cops and ruined his life. Now he's not in the NFL no more. Like, if he would have never dated her, he dated a black girl and did that. And I'm not saying that we should go through abuse and stuff like that, but like,
But at least the black girl would have fought back and not called the police.
yeah, like,
She ain't gonna choke me out. You gonna have a black eye, something.
I don't know. Like, it's messed up to say all those things, you know? Like, I don't want you to choke anyone out, but like, you shouldn't be choking out women in the first place. I'm not defending that, but it's like, damn, like, I just know if you didn't date that white girl, you wouldn't have been where you are right now.
But what is that? So what does it do for like the Black and Hispanic communities if you feel like your high quality men are dating outside their race? Because what happens is, but hold on, watch this. What happens is, I love Kobe, but one of the knocks on Kobe is that, okay, you died and you left all your wealth to a woman that wasn't black or a woman that wasn't your specific race. And they look at it like, oh, damn, you took all your money out the black community and you gave it to a different race. Like, what does that do?
I think the people that think that are like heightened, almost extremists, if you want to put it like,
Yeah, 'cause it's not
there is
about
genuinely...
And his children
There,
are black.
No,
No,
his children
yeah,
are black.
for
That's the
real.
family
And
he built. Like, who else he supposed to leave it to?
there's really some people that on the internet spend their entire day telling people who's black and who's not. Like, just to give an example, Rose Bar has been associated with like colorism issues from people saying that, you know, we don't hire women that are a certain color. And we have black women that work there, and just because you don't see certain pictures on the internet, they make up stories like, oh, we make them sit in the back, or we don't let them be in the picture that we post on Instagram, things like that. None of those things are true. Like, there's people that sit on the internet and have commented like, oh, no black girls work here, and our entire staff is mixed black girls. And some of them are African, you know, like there's people that will literally sit there and tell you you're not black enough, even though you're black. So I think all of that is like extremist stuff. Like, they're trying to say, oh, you didn't leave your money to somebody of your race. That stuff doesn't matter. That's his wife. Like, he had kids with her. That type of stuff shouldn't matter just because she's not of the same race. Like, okay, cool. It would have been nice if he would have married and had a wife that was black. That would have been great, but he doesn't. It's not the end of the world, and we don't need to judge him and crucify him for it. Just like there's people that fight on the internet all day. I mean, even me myself
I just want to
being...
know, when did the internet become the measurement?
Yeah, no, like, there's really people that sit on the internet all day, and like, I've seen things where like I've had a coworker who is very light skinned, but her father is black, her mother is black, but she's for some reason is very fair skinned. I don't know where along her lines of her family she has white, but both of her parents are black. She was raised in a black family, and on the internet, because she has light skin and lighter eyes and a little bit of a better hair texture, they were telling her she couldn't say the N-word and that she's not black. They're like, no, you're not black. You don't have black features, you're not black. And she was fighting till the day on Twitter, just trying to defend herself, showing pictures of her family, all that. And people were straight up telling her, no, you're not black. You're not black. So I just think those type of comments and those type of opinions are just opinions of people that are like very extremist about that
I think those people-
specific topic.
Yeah.
And
Small-minded.
there's people that, I think that happens in every race. I think in every race we have people who have slightly extremist views. I think we should
So
all-
it's not a big like epidemic to y'all if y'all found out that the men of your race aren't dating in their race. That's
No,
not a big
It's a problem when you want to put it into a perspective lens, like how they trying to do. It is a problem because the black community does suffer because we'll have way fewer millionaires than other races or whatever the case may be. But I get what they're saying, but I feel like in that situation, it really just doesn't matter. That's his family. That's
I
his
feel
wife,
like that
that's his
conversation
kids, like,
opens up things like
Yeah, like-
keeping your race pure. That's scary as
it-
shit.
it-
Like,
it
you
re-
shouldn't
it
say
removes
things
far-
like that.
yeah, it
I
takes away
think-
from the point. Like,
Do you feel that white women are better competitors than other women
No.
in terms of the dating
No,
market?
I think people genuinely like what they like, and I think
And-
that men that like white women genuinely like white women. I think that we're very different from them. Like, and you like what you like. Some black men don't find themselves attracted to white women whatsoever. I don't find myself attracted to white men at all. So like, and it has nothing to do, I think, with like what they make it seem like it has to do with, and making it seem like it's about, oh, who talks back and white women don't talk back or white women aren't loud. Like, I don't necessarily think that's true.
Well, that's the thing. It's like the men say it's a cultural difference. It's not a race issue, but it's a cultural issue
the white
of
culture
like
more than the black culture. The black culture is so beautiful.
well, not like white
foreign-
culture, black culture. It's like white women are typically.
But it is a culture thing because typically a white woman's household is different from a black woman's household and how they run it. So it's definitely a different culture thing. But I do believe that more Caucasianas are typically trying to, do more of the black stuff. So I guess I don't know if it's to fit in or emulate black women or what, but I do feel like black people are the way we get everything started. But that's another story. But I do feel like it's a cultural difference. Like sometimes I've actually had a guy that I met say that. He's born in Nigeria, born and raised in Nigeria. He came over here from high school, and he was like, one of the things that he really, really enjoyed about going to high school here in the DMV is that it was so many different kinds of people, because back in Nigeria where he came from, he only seen one type of girl. That's the black women Nigerian. So to come here to see different type of black girls, he like, I ain't never seen black girls with good hair. I was like, what you mean? He was like, I ain't never seen black girls with good hair. And he was like, he said what he said about his Nigerian culture. He was like, he came over here, he's seen light-skinned, black women, dark-skinned black women, red black women, white, all of them. So I just think it's a cultural thing. When you come or you go experience a different culture, you like what you like. You can't help what you like. Shoot.
I used to have these conversations with my white coworkers, and like the white women would be like, oh yeah, I love paying for my husband, or like I paid for him on the first date. And the concept is like white women go to college to find a man, black women go to prove they don't need one. And
That's
they
not true.
lead.
My best friend's a dentist, and she be trying to pay on the first date too. It'd be pissing me off.
Maybe
But hold on. They white women made.
She's black.
What the men are saying is that the white women typically lead with like they're trying to accommodate the man that they're with, regardless of his situation. They're not. I have these conversations about like, oh, how much does a man have to make or whatever, and they like, I don't even think about it like that. I'm just looking at like personality. Like they're not looking at numbers
but
the
when
same
black
way.
women say the same thing, then y'all say y'all don't believe it, because I just said that earlier, and y'all act like y'all ain't believe me when I keep saying it's not about the money. The money is a bonus.
I mean, that may be you, but the other
I feel
women
like they're
that
lying. They do look at it. They
do
are
look
dating
at it.
certain type of men.
Because every video I see something totally different. I see every other culture but black women say that, yeah, the man needs to provide. The man needs to make this money. The man needs to do this. Like, in every other culture, white people culture, peach people culture, purple people culture, whoever the culture
so
is.
I think if you look at statistics in America, I think more white people get married than black people do.
So like
that's my point, and they get married at a younger age significantly. Black women
White
are the
people
latest
have
to
more-
get married.
White people have more traditions. I don't even like getting into white people statistics, because y'all been doing better than a lot of cultures for a long time, especially the black culture. So I don't even want to compare black to white, because y'all had generations and years and years and years to get it right. So y'all been getting married and arranging marriages and marrying this family for that family to bring this family together to run that. No, I don't know. So don't do that with them. It's gonna be hard for black people to get married because we don't trust each other the way y'all trust each other. Because sometimes I be wanting to go in the front businesses and do stuff with my homies, but I just be like, you know what? How did they do that?
Somebody calling me?
Your brother called you 2 minutes ago.
Oh, it's okay.
I don't know if that's your brother, Matt.
It's like, yeah, it is. It's okay.
Like, yeah, like, how do y'all get in there? Like, so, yeah, y'all, white people have had a lifetime to relax, and I'm sure you don't mind paying for stuff for your husbands and stuff, because you know your husband gonna pay all the bills, your husband running this 400K business, you know what I mean? Like, they got stuff going on, so I'm sure you do go to college
And
to
I
find
feel
you
like
a man.
you don't have to
Like,
ask
damn
the
things.
questions
That's why
about the
we
bank
black girls
account,
be in
because
the arenas.
they all work in corporate. They all work, like, you know,
They all work in those places where black
I'm not
people
asking
be
how
going.
much because they all know each
They
other.
know
So-
how much
so-
you make before you even make it.
Watch it. In Hispanic culture, Jorge can go to Home Depot and work for 17, 18 hours outside the Home Depot working a contractor job. Come home to Maria and she treat him like a king.
Yep.
And he working at Home Depot. He's a contractor. In black culture, that's not happening. You not working, making $30,000-$40,000 a year and getting treated like a king, getting treated with submission. It's just not happening. And there's a cultural
it's a cultural difference.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to get at, is like why is it that in our culture we feel that a man gotta make us? There's a price to submission. It can't just be because he a man he deserved a big piece of chicken. It can't be because he's a man he just deserves a woman that's just gonna follow where he goes because he's a man. Like, what's that?
In the
I
black
feel
culture
like
specifically.
you're
Yeah.
saying that, but in that man that goes to Home Depot and works 17 hours a week is providing for his wife.
Not
And
at the high
she's
level.
not- but that's the thing, though. He's still providing everything. She's not working.
He's providing an average life.
And the-
In
but
our
But
culture,
that's what they're
average
happy with
is not
because
good
they've
enough.
never experienced anything better than that.
But you see on Instagram, you see all the time. You see plenty of people on Instagram living.
Maria's not on Instagram.
Yeah,
It's not on
She's
Instagram.
following the other Maria.
Is she
Maria's
realistic?
on Instagram.
She
But
realistic.
Black, like,
Why is it?
in
Here's
the
my
black
point.
culture, I feel like that's because, and I'm sorry to take it back, it's generational. We've been put in predicaments where our black men have been beat, hung from trees and stuff.
Yeah,
so
you
gotta
expect
actually believe and you expect more. So you do. That's culturally. That's what our mindset is. That's survival instinct. So I need to be sure that this man ain't gonna let somebody hang him for a tree in front of my family.
But this is my
Like,
thing. If I got 50 and you got 50, that's 100. Why is it if I got 50 that ain't enough? That's
it is
the,
enough.
No, but the
For
men
most
are
women,
saying
it's
the
not.
men are saying the reason that they don't approach women, the reason they're single, the reason they ain't getting sex, the reason that they're not going through marriage anymore is because my 50 ain't enough. And the women are
I
telling
think
me
he's
my
looking
50
at
Yo,
the
isn't
wrong
you're
enough.
50
women.
not. It's not even that you're
It's-
50 not enough. You're 50 enough. It's the other stuff that's not enough.
And you also looking at the wrong women.
It's the other stuff.
So
Let's
they
just-
got to get everything
other
else.
stuff.
If you don't have the money,
you gotta get more of the other stuff right, and then money can become the bonus. We not like I don't think that as a collective that we're focusing on the money. If you're making me happy, if I feel like you can take care of me, if I know whatever money you do got, I know you taking care of the bills. That's all that really matters. Your $50 is enough. When we short, you don't have it. I got it, babe.
And that's the thing, though.
I got it.
will you
But
throw it
we
in his
not
People
face?
be only having 50.
Will you throw it in his face?
No,
You won't.
no,
No,
my money
and
is
like,
my money.
The guys that only
You
have
shouldn't even know-
50 have self-esteem issues. They call you out your name. Like,
Exactly.
you got
So if
other
you got
problems.
$50,
That's why
you
we're
got
not
other
dealing with
problems.
you.
That's
It's
why
not
it's not
just
enough.
it's not just that you
Okay.
only got
That's
50.
why that $50 ain't enough. You beating her ass. That's why that $50 ain't enough.
'Cause
Like,
you
I
want-
want to. All right, I don't want to go there. I want to close. All right, let's close out with this. Right. So, out of everything y'all heard today, what's the solution to get men and women back together and get married? Right. Because at the end of the day, the men have left the dating scene. Women, they've chosen to date the men at the top and maybe deal with infidelity and all these different things. But that's not a conducive situation. So what's the solution to get men and women back together, get married, repopulate the earth? Like how do we do this?
effective communication. Effective communication, and then just like knowing that like. No, I don't know. I guess we're striving for some version of perfection to prove something to somebody. I don't know who them somebody's is, but like open communication. Be open with your partner, like what you want, your values, your standards, and all that. That should align with the person that you're with. Like it really don't matter outside of that. Like I say, I don't know when social media became the standard. I don't know when we got to keep posting our blackness to prove that we're black. Like I don't live my life like that, so I don't be on Instagram trying to prove anything to anybody. Like if you be like, all right, you ain't no hairstylist, but I'm be like, all right, I ain't no hairstylist. I know who I am. So you can't tell me more about me on the subject. So I'm not worried about that. I think if people just worried about themselves, the things that they want, and they communicate with people that are in likeness and agree and their standards align and those relationships, friendships, or whatever carrying on, I think that's what will make it better. But people too busy worried about who doing what and other people's relationships and what everybody else doing. And that's why you can't find nothing, because you too busy looking on Instagram and seeing what they got.
I think that, in my opinion, to get back to like relationships and marriage, we need to be more real when we just want to have fun. Like, I think the people that aren't ready to be in a relationship are the ones that need to be more self-aware and like be willing to tell people like, hey, you know, I think you might want me to be your boyfriend, but I don't want to be in a relationship right now. I just want to have fun and let women choose if they want to deal with that. I think women have a big problem with when a man tells them that they just want to have fun, that they stick around and see if they can change that man's mind. You're not going to change his mind. If he just wants to have fun, he just wants to have fun. So, you know, like really pay attention when people say that. When people say that they're not sure what they want yet, that's like a big thing you need to listen to. Like, you know, don't live with hope. Date people that are intentional with what they want. And then we need to be more intentional about sex too. Like meaningless sex is just what's ruining like
Yeah,
marriages
being very
and shit.
casual about things that should
Being
be
casual
sacred.
about sex, like yeah, like men are like people are like we deserve to have sex if we want it, right? Yeah, I mean that's something I agree with too. Like if you want to genuinely have sex, do what you want to do, but like it should be something sacred and special to you. It shouldn't be something that you just have because your body is made to orgasm and you can orgasm doesn't mean that you should be enjoying an orgasm every day. Like and you're single, like find a partner and make that special situation with that person.
Is it fair to say men should be more well-rounded and women should be less delusional?
I think more men should be men and more women should be women.
Elaborate. What is that?
I feel like men should do the manly things instead of like I feel the whole I guess like bringing stuff to the table, the whole worried about how much money they make. Like be a man, and attract what's for you is going to come to you and it's going to attract to you. Like I feel like the guys who are confident and have it, not walking around worried about how much money I got and what I can do. You know what I mean? Like back in I always refer to back in the day, love, because these men did have less than these men today and did more. Like these men, if you got less, if all you got is $50, like I said, and everything else not adding up, that's when it doesn't become enough. Like be confident in who you are. Find out beyond money. Figure out who it is that you date and what they like, what makes them tick, and do things like that. Do what you can afford within your budget of that $50 and make it the best $50 you ever spent. And you know what I mean? Create experiences and have moments. Like stop worried about little stuff.
Okay. All right. Well, this is What They Won't Tell You podcast. We're out.